This meeting is being recorded.
Online, am I audible? Can you hear me, ma? Online, can you hear me? Yes. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Fine. Good. Now, let's see what we have seen in the previous classes. Yes, code, file, open folder, 730 Angular. Now, this is what we have seen yesterday. I will just show you one more time. Before we discuss this, does anyone have any link to show? Good. If anyone have any link to show, ma, give me. Tell me. Talini 8 8.netlify dot app services demo. Okay, main component services demo. It is similar to the one which we did. Okay, add to the cart, get the data. PO is added successfully. Count is 1. Perfect. And not only the mobile, she added watches and all also. Let's try some kind of watch. Apple. When I click on Apple, go here, get data. Okay. Now here, put some kind of things. Two things. First one, make this own size count get data sticky so that the people need not to go up. Second thing, sometimes users don't know like whether to click on it or not. For our application side, make it like whenever I click on add to cart, it will also show one alert saying that please click the add, get data now. That makes it better. Okay. Anyway, in future when we learn subjects, that process will be automated. Okay. Perfect. Someone said it like if you write a data in input field after click submit button, print somewhere else. Please explain how to write that logic, sir. I think that is yesterday's task, right? Isn't it? Yesterday's task is like one guy will write it and another guy will understand it, even though they both are not having anything common, no parent, no child. Okay. Now, how do you do that is, if I have to say theoretically, now this is someone's a HTML, right or not? Template. There will be a TypeScript also. Now, in a TypeScript, what you will write, you will put ng model. Automatically, if I put it any input here, that value will store it in this ng model, na? Right? Whenever you click on submit, whenever you click on submit, this I will give it to someone named C. Ho gaya. Now there will be another person B. This B will take this from this. Is it clear? The same thing how I did count, same thing you can do with this also. This both will be connected by ng model. Is it clear? Online child parent task. Oh, you have child parent task problem. Child as in parent task is like at the rate input and see this one. I will show you this guy only. Like for example, someone Surendra did this child. If I give here Tillo, oh, it's not taking. Imagine I write Tillo. Now I go here, I click here. Now when I click here, what is happening really is, inside this parent component, this guy wrote it something called app dash child, and he must have write it something called some kind of count equals to some value, not count, something, whatever it is. Okay, this is how they will send. Now, if I do this, what will happen? This count value will be given to child. Then the child will receive it by at the rate input. That is parent to child. If I have to do child to parent, directly in child, I will update one value with ng model and parent will see it from hashtag. What is TS file logic? TS file logic is at the rate input. Okay. If you do at the rate input or at the rate view child, okay, the both are similar. You can do at the rate view child logic, at the rate input logic. Oh, for seeing child to parent, you can see at the rate view child for the TS. At the rate view child is for the TS. The hash is for the template. Now let's write it here. Someone click it here. That will come here. Write it here. Click it here. That will come here. UI is nice. Okay, this is good. Next, someone also created something shoe store. It's looking really good. Shoe store. Now click here, add to data. Now here, get data, updated. Perfectly, it's done. These are basic services. Today you will do services similar to API logic. Okay, that will teach you a better kind of good. Once you understand this API logic, then you are gonna do it in another level. Okay, we will do some CRUD application and then we will do routing that will make it like most of the Angular to be done. Is it clear, ma? Okay, now good. Off, any other ma offline? Huh? Raj? 8.netlify dot app PVR site model shows for boys. Most people are into with the shows. Good. Yes. Right. Luxury shoes are added. Perfect. Similar example. Nice. Any other? Any other, sir? This is good. Now today, like most people are building with similar to the e-commerce one. So today you will get it in a more in simple way to do that. Okay. Now, is everyone clear, ma? Any doubt, sir? No. Let's go here. Let's build the things. Now, before we build, let's write it here. Did I write services? No, never. Services dot txt. Now, services are used to store common data and to provide communication between any components, any components, any components. How do you do? You can create a service. You can create a service by command ng generate service ng generate service. You can create a command by command ng generate service, service name, service name. It will create, it will create two files, two files, one ts and one .spec.ts files. And spec.ts is used for testing and actual service, actual service lies in .ts. Okay, services are 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 initialized with injectable injectable decorator, stating that these services these services can be injectable into any other services. Any other services. Next. So how do you do this? How do you initialize? How do you use the service? How to use service? Import service in any component, create an instance an instance for that service in constructor parameter of that component. Now, now, how to use spec.ts for testing? Can you give some simple example? Someone is saying it. We will not do testing it now. But if you wanna do testing, command is ng test. When your application is ready, if you write it ng test, automatically it will read all the spec.ts files and it will do testing. Those are called unit testing files. What does it mean? Actually, this is sort of off topic, but I will tell you. in front-end development, there is one type of testing called unit testing. What is it called? Unit testing bole to here you created so many components, Ray. You created one header, you created so many components, and this all one more component. Like this, you created so many. Now, after this all, you build the application, and then after whole application is done, then you will go for testing. Na? Then in that testing, there may be any problem may happen. Na? Then that is why what the front end developer will do for every component, they will do one test whether this component is correctly running or not. Only this component. Whether this component is correctly running or not. Whether this component is running correctly or not. Like that, they will check it for each and every component. Okay. Like this component wise or function wise or the use wise, you will write it chota codes to text it. That is called unit testing. First, we will do that unit testing and then it will go for the real time one. Okay. So tell me any small real-time projects in Angular. We will do it. Don't worry. After today's class, you will do so many real-time projects. Okay. Now, today's class, once you are over, you will get it all the things. Now, sir, creating an instance for the service in the constructor parameter is called. What is it called? Dependency injection. Dependency injection. Dependency injection. It is one of the fundamental concept in Angular. By creating by creating instance in the parameter in the constructor parameter, Angular makes the component. You can use actually dependency injection for components or pipes or directives. Okay, directives. Angular makes the component or direct pipes or directives independent from its dependence dependencies, whatever. Now basically one class is depending on some another class. My component is depending on the service. Okay, if something in service changes, my components may get trouble. That is why components wants to use everything in the service. To use that everything in the service, what the component do, instead of accessing directly from the service, it created one instance for the service and it is using its copy. Okay, it is using its copy. Another component can do its own copy. This is called dependency injection. Now, okay, next after today class you will get it like main points. Now next today's main topic, HTTP client. HTTP client. HTTP client. Now, do you all know? Do you all know fetch? What is the use of fetch? What is the use of fetch? To get the data from an API. There is an API link. In that API link, there will be some data. That data you will get it. How many of you know API concepts well, sir? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does remaining people not have idea? Fetch, async, await, promises. No? Okay. Now I will tell you from starting. Okay. Now, Dekho, listen to this. From starting, I will tell you. Understand it. And anytime you get a doubt, you can ask me. People who already knows also listen to it. Kuch nahi hota. Imagine you are having, imagine you are having some simple cool drink shop. Imagine you are having some cool drink shop. Okay. Now, some guy come to you for a cool drink. You are having in a cool drink shop. Online, can you hear me? Is my voice is clear online? If it is not, please check your thing. Some people voice is not clear, I think. Please check it, sir. Now, okay. Now listen to this. Some guy come to your shop for a cool drink. Now you are having it like in the cool drink shops, and every some guy came and that guy asked for a thumbs up, but in your shop, thumbs up is not there. You don't want to lose the customer. In your shop, the thumbs up is not there, and some guy came to your shop and asked for a thumbs up. What will you do? Good. What will you do? Right? Go to, you will go to another shop, right? Will you say to the customer, go to another shop? No. It's like going to the YouTube and typing one Titanic, and that YouTube says go to Netflix. It will never say, right or not? So you will go to someone, but if you go there, customer will know that, right or not? So what you will do, you will have another guy, and you will say this guy, go to some another shop and bring me the cool drink so that I will give it to this guy. Is it clear? And this is called API. This is called API, application programming interface. Every application will do this. For example, you go to Zomato. If you go to Zomato, in Zomato, you will have one map, right, or a map. You will have map na Zomato. Zomato maps will be there. In Ola map will be there. In Uber map will be there. In Swiggy map will be there. In Rapido map will be there. Does any one of these people build their own map? Then which map they use? Google map. But if you see in Rapido on the Google map, everything is yellow color. In Ola, map will be in different color. In Uber, it's different color. In Swiggy, it's different color. In Zomato, it's different color. Right or not? Right? Now, even though all are using single one only, but they are having different customizations because they are buying it actually. So ultimately, some guy developed one Google map, and the Zomato people is saying it like, I will use you. And I am the end customer. I don't know. Did I open Google Map? No, I opened Zomato. Zomato is using Google Map. I don't know that. I was like, give me, send me into my location. Automatically, it is asking Google Map what is his location, and Google is telling him his location, and it is asking it like how much distance. Google is telling the distance, and it is asking it like send it to him, and then it is sending it. Is it clear, man? So Google Map is actually working it in the back end. That like without your customer knowledge, you are sending it. You are doing it. This is called API. Okay. Now this one is done by almost all. Now you will have something called front end server. Now onwards, you will understand how the actual applications are built. Real time applications, how they built. Now onwards, you will understand. You will have one front end application, front end. What is front end, sir? Your Angular is front end, right? You will have one back end application, maybe Java or Python or .NET. Here, Python and .NET people are there. You will have your .NET and something. Then you will have something called database, right or not? Your database and backend are connected. Can you connect data to base to front end? Can you connect your database to front end, ma? No, you cannot connect your database to front end. Why, sir? Because anything you put in front end code, ma, people can see your code. Okay. Earlier, some person did one code, and I can able to whatever the code you do. Okay. Whatever the code you do, that code I can able to see it. Arre, if I go here, like Raj 8 .NET 5, then if I go right click, if I go inspect, if I go to this, if I go to sources, I can able to see their code. Because it's an Angular project, it got polyfills and all. This is the dist file, right? Now, if I go here, here I can at least see the code now, actual code, right or not? But, but if I see the database like this, that would be a problem. That is why front end should not be connected to database. It's not normally possible also, but even though it's possible, never ever do that. Now, front end, back end with your Python. Now, front end connects to back end connects to database. And again, back end database and the front end database. This is how basic communication. How the front end and back end are connected through API. To what? API. Backend people create one API. Backend people will create one API and they will create one endpoint. In that endpoint, they will put some data. That means they will create one link, sir. In that link, the data will be there. Now, you will use that data in the front end. You will use that data in the front end. Is it clear, ma? Backend people will create the data in API link, and in that link the data will be there, and front end people will just use it. Front end people don't know like how they will come and all. Okay. Now, don't worry, like once you understand this basic HTTP client, I will do one CRUD application where I will create my own backend also, so that I will show you one full stack. Okay. Now, similar to Google Map. Now here, every application, every time backend will create a API, and that API you will use it. Okay. Now, how to do this, I will show you. This is all basic logic. Okay. Now, to achieve it, normally JavaScript will have something called fetch. What it will have? Fetch. So try to learn fetch and promises. Okay. But here in Angular, we don't use fetch because Angular have something called HTTP client. What it will have? HTTP client. HTTP client in Angular is used to handle HTTP requests. HTTP requests are the API requests like get, post, put, delete. You can, in normal JavaScript, you will use either Axios or fetch. Here, you don't need fetch, you don't need Axios. By default, it will have something called HTTP client. Now next. Let's start my application. Everyone, see this. I'm gonna create one small application so that you will understand it. New terminal. How to create an application? First, I will go to the folder cd angular, cd code, cd http client demo. Oh, I have to create it. Huh? So I will directly create an application. ng new http client demo dash dash standalone equals to false. That will create one application, sir. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? No? Go here, click this. CSS, server side rendering, no. Let it install. In the meanwhile, I will show you some API. Go here. Um, we have so many free APIs. I will give you list of free APIs. One of the API I will use it in this code is something random quote generator or random quote generator. Why it is not working? It is not doing it. What? No, quotable is not working. So I will try something random joke. Random joke. Control C. See, when I go to one link, sir, when I everyone understand. When I go to one link, this is the link. I will tell you. Now, when I go to this link, what is the link? HTTPS something website, na? This is the website link. Now, can you see slash random joke is coming? When I click on slash random joke, I am getting some data. When I'm going to slash random joke, I'm getting some data, na? That slash random joke is called endpoint. What it is called? Endpoint. Different endpoints will have different data. Amazon.com is one website. Amazon.com slash data. I'm getting one data. Data one, I'm getting different data. Data two, I'm getting different data. So each one is one endpoint. What they are called? Endpoint. They are at end. Now, sir, using this, I will get a different kind of jokes every time. So even online people, I will send this link and I will tell you different free APIs also which you can use. Okay. Now, Uttam Kumar, you will get an error. This command is not available running it workspace. That means you are not having it like, you know, exact folder. Go in, go to the outside of the folder. When you are in outside folder nicely, then do it. Okay. Now let's go here. Clear, everyone. Now in the code, I created one more folder which is called ng, which is called cd http client demo. I go inside. Now I am inside this. Now I will write it here ng serve dash o. Yes, I will serve the application. Yeah, I got it. Then after I got this, go down. Let's create one service also. Create here cd angular. If you want to see the code HTTP client, you can see this src app. Now nothing is there in the app, no service. Now go here cd code cd http client demo. Now cls. Now inside this, I will create one service. How do you create one service, sir? Ng generate service service name. I'm writing it one service name API. Now I created it CLS. Now I'll go to API service. You can see one service is created name API. In that I will open only TypeScript. First thing, open the service. Create one service and open. Till now any doubts, sir? Till now any doubts, ma? No, na? I have not done till now anything. Till now everyone clear, right? Yeah. Now, how did I created ng generate service name? Simple. Now, first thing, import HTTP. Import HTTP client. Import HTTP client. Import HTTP client. First thing is to do import HTTP client. Now, HTTP client is also a service actually. HTTP client is also a service. Now you are actually doing API service now. In your component, you will put API service now. In your component, you will put API service now. Similarly, default service is there. Built-in service. Similarly, built-in pipes are there now. One built-in service is there that is called HTTP client. And what is the use of this built-in HTTP client? The built-in HTTP client is used for HTTP requests like get requests, port requests, get the data, post the data, put the data, delete the data, kind of things. We are doing get request. That means getting the data. Already somewhere in the link, the data is there. That data I want. So to get the data, I will do this. Now, first import it. After importing, go to here. How did you create a service here? How did you uh, do dependency injection? Create private, name some name, HC, HTTP client HC, service name. कोई doubt है? कोई doubt है sir? No? Very good. Not necessary. No. Go here. Then inside this, now inside the constructor, you have to do one logic. Inside the constructor, you have to do one logic. Now they go. This one is important. This dot hc dot. Can you see here? So many requests are there. right? Get request, put request. This are all APIs only. I will try get this dot hc dot get this dot hc dot get. I am doing get request. Get request bole to it's like someone came to my cool drinks. Like someone came to my website to see the joke. Do I have any joke? No. I need the joke from another website. I am taking joke from another website. So I am sending it one guy to go to that website. I should tell what is the website now. So that website you will give it here. I am saying it. Go to this link. Get me a joke. Go to this link. Get me a joke. Here this means current calling object. This बोले तो ये पूरा class. In class whatever the HC variable is there. This dot HC बोले तो. Now in this link, if I go here, in this link, what is the data here? What you are getting it? One object. In this object, what are there? Type, setup, punchline, ID. So when my guy going for a joke, he will get it four things: type, setup, punchline, and ID. All thing in one object. He will get the whole object na. He will get total object na. Now this total object he has to store it somewhere else. Now how did he get it? Now anyone can tell me in the fetch, after writing fetch statement, what you will write? Promise. Fetch will return a promise. Fetch will return a promise. Now they can understand the story. Now this is very simple, sir. In your cool drink shop, you sent one guy, okay, and your guy is going for another address. Now he went for cool drink na to bring it to you. He may come, may not come. He may bring, may not bring. He may be successful to bring, may not be successful, right or not? What if when the guy is bringing, he got an accident? What if the guy got a wrong address? What if the cool drink is not there in that address also? What if some crash happened? So many things are there, right or not? Are you getting my point, ma? So before that guy went, JavaScript will not wait for anyone. Before that guy went, the guy will say he will give one promise. What he will give? Promise. It's like he will give me a promise like in 5 minutes मैं आ जाता हूँ. Okay? तो 5 मिनट में आ जाता. But after 5 minutes he may come, may not come. That's a possibility. So promise will have two chances. Either the promise will resolve or promise will reject. Promise will reject, resolve or reject. Any doubts here? So then we will write a code. Resolve है तो क्या? नहीं है तो क्या? दो possibilities है. If that guy comes exactly in 5 minutes or something, he bought the result. If he got the result, then we will write it like dot then. What we will write? Dot then. Dot then is like what we will do if he comes successful. Dot then will work when promise is resolved. What if he got an error? Dot catch. What we will write? Dot catch. Okay. Now this is the same thing will happen in any kind of fetch request. Now I will do the same query using a fetch. If I do it here, here fetch. If I go to this link, this is how JavaScript. Why I am telling it fetch? Because you should understand fetch and this parallelly. Okay. First one, fetch this link. Now after he go, if he comes successfully, If he comes successfully, someone is asking the difference between JSON and APIs and all. Don't worry, that is JSON is different. Now, if he comes successfully, what to do? If he comes successfully, whatever the data he brings, print it. If he comes successfully, whatever the data he brings, print it. Then it will print the data. Or what if he fails, sir? Then catch. Whatever the error he got, print it. But something should be known. If he brings or not brings, something should be known, na? So, will both will run, sir? Will dot then catch? Both will run? No, any one. Either successful or not successful. Right or not? Then dot then or dot catch. Any one only will run. Any doubt, sir? This is called a promise. What is it called? A promise will have a resolve or reject. That's it. That is done by fetch in JavaScript. Any doubts? No. But Angular deals with completely different. Now, 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 Surendra is asking when do we use double then? Because if this promise is also doing another promise, if one promise is resolving another promise, for example, what will happen is, imagine he brings everything and I ask it like, no, no, I didn't ask this. I asked another one. He will go back again. Again, and another promise comes now. Or I gave him another task. Go to there. Go to that shop, this shop again. Then he will go to another shop now. Again, he will give promise now. Again, it will have dot then. Successful, successful. Like that it will become. So how many thens you want, you can put it. Promise chaining will be there. Okay. This is all story of JavaScript. Why you told this? Because in TypeScript, in Angular, instead of fetch, it will use something called HTTP client. Now, this HTTP client, instead of returning promise, HTTP client returns observable. HTTP client returns returns observable. Similarly, as fetch returns promises. This is one of the advanced concepts. Okay, HTTP client returns observable. Now onwards we will have observables. Observable तो क्या है? Promise बोले तो he will give promise dot then dot catch successful नहीं successful. But it's a one time event na promise, right or not? One time event na. What if what if I have a some uh, we have a newspaper boy. We have a newspaper boy. The newspaper boy gave me a promise that he will deliver me a newspaper every day morning. Understand the logic. The newspaper guy said to me that he will deliver me a newspaper every day morning. Will it be one promise or multiple promises? Will it be one promise or multiple promises, ma? Multiple. You know why? Today he will delivered morning. He may not deliver tomorrow morning. Who knows? Tomorrow morning he delivered on time. Day after tomorrow, who knows? Every day you will have two chances again. Today, deliver or not deliver. Tomorrow, deliver or not deliver. Then day after tomorrow, deliver or not deliver. Right or not? The actual promise is every day morning deliver. That means to fulfill, people think one promise, but is actually an multiple promises. Is it clear, ma? Observable is not to observe. Observable bole to multiple promises. Observable is actually observable means multiple asynchronous functions. Asynchronous functions. You are building one application. Now you did one application, you did coding for some kind of nice software, and the software every employee will log in. Now today is your birthday. Then it will show you on the screen happy birthday to you. That's nice. If tomorrow another employee birthday is there, it will show happy birthday to them now. Till then it's fine. Till then it's good. Next year, exactly the same day, again it should show your birthday. Right or not? Then next year, again on the same day, it should again say it like it's your birthday. Then next year also it should do. Every year it has to repeat it one. Na? Are you all getting my point, ma? Earlier example, earlier example, in earlier example, you sent one guy to a shop. Okay. In earlier example, you sent one guy to a shop and he just brings the data. That is a simple thing, one time only. But you know what if this time? This time it's like, imagine there is one treasure, so much treasure is there. Then you go there, you will take how much treasure you want, you bring it here. Again you will go. Again you will bring. Again you will go. Again you will bring. You will bring multiple promises. One of the most used example, one of the most used example of observable is YouTube. You all use YouTube, na? In YouTube, you will know channels will be there, na? Imagine you go to a channel, click on subscribe. Click on subscribe. What will happen? Whatever their videos will be there, it will come to your home feed, right or not? Till then, it's fine. Tomorrow, your channel guy, whoever the channel you subscribed, he uploaded another video. Will it be on your home feed or not? Why? Because you are subscribed. When you do one time subscription, you will get again and again and again the data is coming to you. Are you getting my point? That multiple times asynchronous operations are done with something called observable. What we will call? Similarly, you will write it something dot, then you will write it here dot subscribe. Okay. Now let's write it here. I will do here dot subscribe. This dot hc dot. I am telling it again. Please understand it. Very simple. First, we will write it here. This hc dot get. This dot hc dot get. This dot hc dot get. It will return. It will return one observable. If you see, if you hover on it, it will show you. It is returning one observable, and that observable you will write it dot subscribe. Dot subscribe. What does it mean by subscribe? Sir, this dot hc is not working. Hc is an instance for the variable. Ma. Hc is an instance variable. For the people who don't understand, hc is a simple instance variable. Now, if I write it here dot subscribe, it will subscribe the code. Then, what does it mean by that? Go here. That means whatever the data in that link, that means whatever the data in this link, whatever the data in that link, you will get it. Once you get the data, once you get the data, tomorrow, what if the link, if the data in the link is updated, again you will get it. You will get it again and again and again. Every time the link is, every time the data is updated. Okay. That is why people will use this kind of thing. Okay. Now, subscribe, I will use it data First, I am just printing what is the data I'm getting. I'm just printing what is the data I'm getting it. Now, okay. For the persons who don't know basics, this is JSON. What is it called? JSON is the file structure which is there. It is a JSON file structure. API बोले तो ये पूरा API हो जाता. That is API endpoint. This is API data going here, there. API. The concept is API. The data is in the format of JSON. The concept is API. The data is in the format of JSON now here. Now let's start. Now here I have this data, and in my application, I go here and I got this one, and I want to check it like what it is coming it like that. Any doubts here? No. Now JSON is presented in API endpoint. It, if in API endpoint, the JSON will be presented. Any doubts till now? Any doubts till now? No, go. Now, if I go here, if I go here, if I right click, inspect, right click, inspect, I can't see anything here. The reason I can't see anything here is because Angular is, doing with only app component now. Did I put this service in the app component? Then how it will go to service? So go here, put this service in the main component. Go here, go to main component.ts file, main component.html file. Now you will understand it everything. Write it. Import here API component. Import API service. Then go here, constructor, private, here API API service, open close. Now you go here. Now you got one error, happy. Now property title does not exist in app component. Go here, delete this all. Now go here, right click, inspect console. Now can you see here one problem? No provider for HTTP client. So you need to have a provider. That means if you are using HTTP client you should tell to the module, because everything you do module should know. Go to the module, say it like import HTTP client module. Import HTTP client module. This one got strikeout, sir. It got deprecated. In the Angular 17 and 18, we are not using any HTTP client module. Because in my system, Angular 18 is there, you will get a strike. But don't worry, it will work. It is just deprecated, but still it works. Okay. Now, now, next. Next. HTTP client module. So what they will do is, like, if in standalone, we are writing standalone equals to false now. In 17 and 18, we don't have standalone equals to false. So there is no module only. What they did, they just removed this HTTP client module also. No need, and they made it inbuilt. HTTP client module will come inbuilt only, normally if you do 17 and 18. But because module is there, it is expecting the module now. Now go here. Now it will say no errors. Can you see here I got the data? Can you see here I got the data? Where is this data? I'm getting it from this link. So my application is going to this link. How it will happen? देखो first, the moment the application starts, it will go to TypeScript. In TypeScript, it will say API service. Then it will think API service kya hai. Then it will go to service. Then in services, what I did, I just go to this link and get the data. How did you get the data? Dot subscribe and get the data, and the data I am printing on the screen. I'm printing on the screen. Any doubts? Any doubts? Now, Kali, simple, sir. Whatever the data you get it, store it here now. Now I will store it data something initially empty or not constructor. I just created here one data, sir. Now instead of then we use subscribe, sir. Yes, instead of then we use subscribe. For then when you will use promises, subscribe when you will use observable. What is the difference between observable and promises? Promises is like one time event. Observable is multiple promises. Okay. Now, okay. Now, whatever the data I am getting, sir, okay, here instead of writing data, store it in any another name, joke. So it will store whatever the data it is getting, it will store in joke, sir. Whatever the data it is getting, it is storing in joke. Where it is storing, sir? So Kali simple. Service will start, go to the link, get the data, and store it in joke. Now inside the joke, whole data is there now. Now inside the joke, whole data is there now. Now go here, TypeScript. Now in my application, here also I will write it something J. J bole to joke. Now in this joke, I will write it here. The moment service starts, this dot J is equals to this dot joke API dot joke. In API joke के अंदर क्या है वो पूरा J के अंदर आता. Now, in API, joke के अंदर क्या है? In API, inside the joke, you will have something called HTTP client get whatever the data is there. So ultimately, complete joke you will copy into this na J. Now inside the J joke is there na. How I will print that J? What I will print? Something H1. Now what will be there in the joke ma? Type setup punchline. I will put setup on punchline. Setup is like J dot setup. Now paragraph J dot punchline. Go here. Simple. Why it is coming it empty? Go here. Control C. Not this. Control C. Run it again. I still got empty on only. Huh? ఏం ఇంపోర్ట్ చేయలే అర్థం కాల ఇంపోర్ట్ స్పెల్లింగ్ తప్ప నో అప్లికేషన్ नो नो एरर्स ओनली रे एरर्स नहीं है नाउ हियर विल सी लाइन बाय लाइन खाली चेंजेस आर http client module इसमें चेंज नहीं है नाउ हियर it is printing j value okay and here j value I am getting it from API right it that's a good logic ray console.log this dot API dot joke. It is yes. So joke is coming initially empty. So this one is taking some time. Before the time comes, this one is painting on the screen. How I can do? You can do directly HTTP client here also. I just want to do it with the service. That's it. You can actually do it that also. Hmm. Okay, I will try this logic. Ng on init. If you remember, if you remember, I told you when we discuss something view child, I told you something called life cycle methods will be there. At different stages of life, different things will be there. Okay. Now, first one, whenever the thing started, first thing to run is ng on init. Okay. But there is a gap. Basically, first thing is constructor. After constructor, thoda gap, ng on init will come. So I just thought it like at least ng on it can bring. No, it is also not bringing it. If I do, we can print the whole object using JSON pipe. Yes, you can do that. Now, this TS is giving it. Hmm. If I use it there only, then officially this one will not be great now. What is the point of on init? On init bole to whatever the data you got it. On init will start it. Whenever the application started, it will work. This dot API dot joke is only thing is available. In console, what will happen is see API is getting the data. This is an asynchronous operation. So subscribe. When I'm subscribing, I got it here. This logic console dot log. Hmm? Import the. See, the problem is first app component is running, then this joke component is running. Hmm. Okay, we'll do one thing. Without using the service, I will directly use the HTTP client in the app component only. Okay. Now we will do the CRUD application tomorrow, then you will get it in a bigger idea. So what I will do, I will use whatever the code I used, directly I will use in this main component only, so that you don't need API service only. Directly HTTP client, go to the top. Ultimately, today you should understand how the HTTP client works. Okay. Today's main point is about HTTP client. Now, anyway, yesterday you understand services. Now go down, controls X, go here, control X, shit. This dot, this dot j. Then you will get it in j whole value. Where is the error here? HTTP client, HTTP client. Now there are no errors in this. Only error is here. What is the error here? Close brace. Simple. Now, now you will get the data actually. Online, can you hear me now? Okay. Listen to this, ma final. Please listen to this. HTTP client is used to get request, post request, put request, delete request. I used it here. Forget about service. I took it only. Okay. So what?